Why are you not investing in yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself for you, for your family, for your kids, for your community, whatever it is?
All right, everybody. I wanted to introduce you to Breanne. I'm super excited because I always hear the, high level view of your journey and everything that's gone into it. And I'm really excited for everyone who is going to watch this, and a lot of our inner circle strong moms too. They always watch the videos to learn a little bit more about your story. So before we get into the whole shebang, can you give us a little background, like kids, what your day-to-day looks like?
Sure. So I am married to my husband. We have celebrated 14 years this year. I have two children. My daughter is 12. My son is 7. They are both very active kiddos, so we are always on the go. My husband is in law enforcement, so he sometimes has a funky schedule. And I am a gymnastics coach, and so I typically work more, not quite a second shift, but later into the evenings for practices and things like that. So we are a very, very busy, but very sports-minded family. So,
amen. And so many people can relate to that.
Yeah.
Just always being on the go, having to be the next place. All right. So give everybody just a little glimpse into how you were feeling before you hopped on board with Strong Mom. What was, going on that made you want to make some sort of change?
So about a year ago, I was at the heaviest I had been weight-wise, not being pregnant. And my mom had just gotten a recent diagnosis with breast cancer, and I just was like not in a great place. I'm a former college athlete, college cheerleader, and so, I've always been active. But there's always been something missing. And I was one of those, like, I will try everything kind of person. So all the different products you see, the companies, the weight loss, the quick fixes, and nothing worked. It would work a little bit, but so I knew that there was something more, something like more inside me that I needed to fix to really feel better about me. Call it what you want, fate, divine intervention, or whatever, but scrolling through social media, there was Strong Mom. So that algorithm found me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you just saw Strong Mom and then you were like,
Yeah, I tend to be very curious as it is. So I saw it, I clicked on it, and what really actually got me was listening to your story. And watching your video about your postpartum depression and being that, athlete and not really feeling yourself. And especially, with the postpartum, I had struggled with both of my children with postpartum depression as well. And so it was more that mental aspect that really kind of called to me rather than, any kind of weight loss. I loved the fact that it was really a holistic program. And so that is what really kind of spoke to me and really was like, this might actually be different. So,
yeah,
I rose my hand in one of those posts and said, contact me, #me. So, I got reached out to, and that started the ball rolling.
All right. So give everybody who's watching at this point, as we're chatting, how long have you been with Strong Mom? So there's a context of what you're going to talk about, but how long you've been, and then just the changes you've made and how you feel today.
Yeah. So I have been with Strong Mom now for about 9 months now, 9.5 months. I started right before the new year. It was literally my first week was that week in between Christmas and New Year's. So, kind of a wild time to start too. And, your holiday parties and schedules are funky. And so I was like, oh gosh, what am I getting myself into? But I just decided, I was like, this is something that I need to go full in on. Like, I know that I need to change me, and without changing me, then the rest of the pieces aren't going to fall into place. And so, the biggest changes was what I was looking for to begin with, was the mindset stuff, like the workbooks and the mindset tools and the activities, the mind activities that we go through really opened a lot of doors for me, and realized like, this is kind of the pattern of the decisions I had been making. And it had really nothing to do with like, I didn't have the willpower to not eat the cookie, or I needed to, to do this or that. It was, why am I making the decisions I'm making? What is holding me back from making the best choices for me, for my family, to be my best version? Like I said, I'd worked out almost my whole life. So that had never really been the problem. It had always been, more the nutrition mindset part of it. And so yeah, so in the 9 months I've been in, it's so cliche to say, but it's really truly been life-changing for sure.
I love that. It's not cliche. I can hear that over and over a bajillion times. And I think it's so cool. So the effect, give me an example, or not an example. I don't want to put you on the spot, but one thing we hear, and the reason why I'm asking this question is a lot of moms will get nervous and be like, well, I can't take that time, energy, investment and put that into me. It's almost like it's easy to look at it as taking away from your family. Mm-hmm. Is there any way you can speak on how that's actually helped your family? Because one of the things we say is give your family the best of you, not what's left of you. And boy, if we run ourselves into the ground, it's tough. So I don't know if you have anything to even like.
Yeah, for sure. I would say it was true before that. Like my family was getting the rest of me. I was so focused on, work, or, what the perception people had of me was, how do I look externally rather than what I was. And so, a lot of the, like now my kids, I've just learned a lot more of how I process things. And like the patience and where that comes from to be able to then help my kids. Like I've used a lot of what I've learned in Strong Moms, the mindset things, especially with my 12-year-old. She's at that age where it's middle school, it's changes, it's peer pressure stuff starts, and then she's also in the athlete realm on top of that. And so it's like, okay, well, how are you looking at this? Like, how are you approaching this? And that having that mindset of like, it's not good or bad. It's, it's the neutral thinking, which is like the biggest thing I've been working on like the last 2 months is like that neutral thinking of being in neutral and not seeing things, everyone always wants to be like, you have to be positive all the time. Life isn't positive. Like it isn't all the time. So how do you deal? And you don't go negative, you go neutral. You go in, it is what it is, and it takes what it takes. The book I'm reading right now, I love it.
So good.
To get through, to deal with the situation that you're in. And so it's been really helpful just for my family. And I've noted, even my sister got married recently, and in a card she wrote to me, because I was her maid of honor, she wrote how much she has loved seeing me grow this year. And I told her a little bit about the program, but she's like, I just really love that you are taking time to be you now. Like, it is showing you have become like just this great person. Not that I wasn't before, but just has stepped into kind of feel like who I was meant to be all along. And I knew was there, but I couldn't reach it on my own.
That's so good. And I know I totally just put you on the spot by asking that question. No, but it's so true. Like it's again, probably why Facebook found you, and also why you joining in between the holidays. It's a testament to you though, and the work that that you're willing to do. I feel like that's an athlete's mindset, kind of like, it may not be the best time, but at the end of the day, every day is going to keep passing.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially being a busy mom, there is no best time. It's, your sports season, divorce seasons, summer. It's like, yeah, summer is great, but summer is so busy. The kids are off schedule. You're off schedule. There is no right time. It is the best time for you. And that is when you choose to decide to do it. Yeah.
100%. And it's great. I know for me, the stuff that we talk about, I bring to our relationship with Dave, my relationship with Dave and the kids. And I love it. Moms will be like, that we work with, all these crazy things that are happening. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, and I lost weight too. I'm like, that's what you want. Because we've heard, and again, I can't discount the weight loss, because to be honest, most people come to us, that's what they're looking for. And I think in the inner circle or to our coaches, the thing that most moms say is, I came in looking for weight loss. I didn't even know what else I could get out of it. And so I think it's just really cool that we can actually use these tools to work with our kids while at the same time not focusing on the external, but it just happens because we make better decisions.
Yeah.
Can you give everybody, what's one of your, we have something in our program called NSVs, they're non-scale victories. Can you think of one offhand, a non-scale victory?
My very first one sticks out. So I was a couple weeks into the program, and I used to have to run my hand under cold water at night to get my ring off, my wedding ring off my finger. And because I would just be so like bloated and from the day, and not drinking the water, not eating what I'm supposed to be. And it was probably like maybe 4 weeks in, and I messaged my coach and I was like, I didn't even realize it, but I could take my ring off with no problems anymore. And so that was my first NSV. And then, there's just been a bunch along the way. I'm now wearing smaller size shirts than I was a year ago. And I can buckle my belt loop one notch smaller, so it's just all these like little things that you don't realize until all of a sudden, like it kind of smacks you in the face. Sometimes you're like, oh, hey, look at that. Like, that's cool.
Oh, so good. No, I love that. Thanks for sharing. We have like the best, the ring experience. I love it. Okay. So I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I do know there's people watching, and we do have a lot of people that say to us, you're on the internet, I don't know if you're real. And what would you say to someone who's watching this, who has a similar story as yours? Maybe they were an ex-athlete. They know something's missing, but you just can't pinpoint it. If someone's in your shoes today of where you were when you started, what would you tell that person who is on the fence?
I'd say, what do you have to lose? Besides mental and physical weight, if you've tried everything, if you were an ex-athlete, or you still are an athlete, but you don't feel like you're in the best place, how do you get better at a sport? You have a coach. How do you get, better in business? You have a coach. And I know you've said that in some of our videos and stuff. And it's so true. Without having my coach, who literally checks in multiple times a week, and, we have video calls and all of that. It's not that she hounds on you at all. There's somebody holding you accountable and saying, well, did you think of it this way? And that's the best thing about it. It's not like, oh, send me what you ate, or, show me you did the work. It's, okay, you did the work. Let's look at it and examine it. Why are you telling yourself the stories that you are? So having that coach and that accountability was huge for me in the beginning. And then you start to learn to do things a little bit more on your own. And then also the community has been phenomenal. I luckily have some strong moms that live in my state, and I had the pleasure of running a 5K with one of them. And so it's just cool to meet people who are out there on the web, but now you know them in person, and you truly become a community, a tribe, as we call it, like supporting everybody, and, just shooting messages. And then you start to message people, even offline, and actually develop real relationships with people. So having that connection, which sometimes can be hard as a mom too, because you live with your kid, through your kids, and a lot of the parents you become friends with are just, through your kids' activities or whatnot, or work. And it's like, so you have this community now that you can lean on and reach out to. And so it's just, if you're on the fence about it, it's what is holding you back? Why are you not investing in yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself for you, for your family, for your kids, for your community, whatever it is? So that is what I would say.
That's so good. And you're right. The community is the best. Like, to be surrounded by people who are working towards the same thing. I've done videos on, when I was training for the Olympics, like, to be around people that are constantly striving makes you want to strive even harder. And it's so huge. So thank you very much for sharing your story. I'm going to, don't hop off really quick, but I'm going to end record. Thank you for sharing, Breanne. Hold on.
Thanks.